Welcome to the Don't Call Me Midlife podcast.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
Good. Happy February 1st.
Yes. I can't believe it's already February. Where's the time going? To my neck.
I do feel like, I get it. I do feel like January flew by, but I'm sort of glad because there's so much pressure in January to like do all the things. So I'm excited to enter February. Are you?
I am. It just means spring is closer. I don't know. I like February because it's a short month. It's one of my least favorite months. My least favorite month is March. It's so long.
Why?
And you're just like waiting for spring. I feel terrible because it's my middle son's birthday and Jerry's birthday. So I can't really say it too much. But yeah, I think it's just a little traumatizing. It's usually like very gray
Cold.
and long and cold. Yes, and cold.
Right. We both live in like places where it is cold. You know what I'm excited about February though is I did damp January. So guess what?
How'd it go?
January's over.
Yep. You're ready to drown yourself in February.
No, I'm not. I really like damp January, and I think doing it damp put less pressure on myself to say I'm going to drink or I'm not going to drink alcohol, you know? So I like the concept. I actually drank less, I think, because I said it was damp January, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes it's just like a mind, like, you know, it's mindset thing. Like if you can't have candy, like what is it?
That's what you want.
Like around Easter when you give something up for Lent, if you do that, you know, that's all you can think about. So yeah.
So that was good. So that's why I'm glad it's February. But so I am drinking today. What is in my cup?
What's in your cup, Alex?
I have my Stanley. I recently actually have a car Stanley and a home Stanley. And this helps me drink more water because I found myself leaving my water bottle in the car. And then now I've like conditioned myself, like I can't really drink water without the water bottle. So I've got my home Stanley, that's the 40 ouncer. And then I keep a 30 ouncer in my car. And I put some element tea in it. I've been doing that. I did that all of January, just half of an electrolyte packet for those that don't know what element tea packets are. And so I am drinking that today. And I feel good.
Oh. Is it flavored? Is it salty?
I only do the flavored. No, that's what I do. In 40 ounces, I use half a packet of it. So I think they say it's like 16 ounces per pack. That's way too salty for me. So I just do half a pack every day and I just save it for the next day. 40 ounces of water. I do. I like the lime the best. That's my favorite.
I'm gonna have to try it. My favorite electrolyte drinker in my cup.
No, what's your favorite? Do you use element tea?
I don't. I should. I'm going to. I don't typically like flavored waters, but I do think having some sort of electrolyte in my water is probably beneficial. I don't know what the benefit is, but I did try one and it was vile.
Really?
I can't remember the name of it right now. Let me think. Maybe it's the something, not like the cure, something like that. I know they sell it at Anthropology. And when I was holiday shopping, they were unboxing it. I'm like, oh my, I just like stopped them. I'm like, girls, have you ever had this? They're like, no. I'm like, it is disgusting. Don't recommend it to your people shopping. Yeah, it's gross.
You know, I mean, element tea just in the shorts. Well, we don't know who it is. You know, it has some minerals in it, like magnesium and stuff that is good for your body function, especially for, you know, midlife ladies like us, just to get extra hydrated to, you know, it helps me actually just drink more water because I do like flavored water. And water is so good to your body because it carries the nutrients throughout your body. So anyways, it is good. Yes. It's beneficial.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll go pick some up like after we record this on my way to the kids.
Okay. So what's in your cup for real?
For real. Okay. I've just got, my mushroom coffee. So I'm trying to just
when you say drink it just makes me laugh.
Good.
No,
mushroom
it doesn't.
Coffee. There, you know, it's It's not as like, you know, caffeinated as a regular cup of coffee. Like you don't get the jitters. You get the boost of the focus and all that, but not, there's no crash. So I like it. It's
Good.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. So, going off of our topic last week, we really loved talking
Yes.
about our nighttime routines, and that actually inspired us for today's episode of morning routines, right? Because those are very different. We were thinking about
Mm-hmm.
the episode of talking about both, but there's
Mm-hmm.
so much to talk about each of those routines that I am excited about my morning routine because it is not a strength of mine. As we spoke last week, my nighttime routine is pretty good. My morning
Yeah.
routine is not.
Which I'm
So
really
I'm excited
surprised to
about
hear
talking.
that. Yeah. I'm surprised to hear that. I mean,
Well, my morning routine, I just haven't found what works for me. It's not like
hmm
I wake up like, good and happy and everything, but I just haven't found I have a lot of more time in the morning more recently because I have two kids
hmm
at home, right?
hmm
And my younger son
and they're
is very
older.
self-sufficient. They're older, and
Yeah.
John, my youngest son who's 10, is very self-sufficient. So I find myself, maybe I'm like a little lost because they don't need me in the morning. So I
Uh-huh.
literally, like, what's
Ah,
the word?
so
Philander,
jealous.
philander.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm like
Aimlessly
philandering.
wandering around the kitchen, like trying to find something to do, right? Listen, our ladies don't want to hear that, do you? Like, they're like, what? Who has time to meander? I think is the word, not fleander. Fleander.
I don't know that word, but I
Meander. Yeah.
I mean, I do have a strong nighttime routine. So, like,
Uh huh.
my routine involves setting up for the day. So I do that. Um, but how do you feel overall about, we'll talk about our morning routines later, but we
hmm
really wanted to help educate our ladies on some things
hmm
to think about to make your morning routine set you up for success, would we say, for the day?
I think so. I think having systems in place
Mm-hmm.
helps, and having a purpose helps the day just launch you into
Yeah.
a direction of organization and having a plan, right?
Mm-hmm. We're a big
So,
plan. I think
yeah.
I think you said something really key, Nicole, is having a purpose for
hmm
your morning, right?
hmm
How do you want it to feel? I know everyone's going to have a different morning routine, right? But it's again, how at the end of 8 o'clock or whenever your morning is sort of ending, how do you
hmm
want to feel? And when you Google this again, there is a million things to do, which would be great if you had all the time in the morning. I know
hmm
people, that wake up earlier than their kids so that they can have that alone time. I think you're one of those people, right?
I am. I am. I have my alone time in the summer. That's why I wake up early. But
Uh huh.
really for the school year, I just wake up to get myself ready. So I'm not scrambling to get them and myself ready. And it's just causing too much chaos. I took a parenting class a couple of years ago, and that was one of the things that she recommended was just getting up a little bit earlier to get yourself ready. So your focus is just on your kids and getting out the door on time.
I like that. And are you really
Mhm,
consistent about your morning routine? Because I think that's one of the things, like if you talk to people's morning routines, it can be sort of boring
mhm,
but I think that's the key. If you have a boring morning routine, that's good
mhm. Yeah,
because
it's
doing
not
it
sexy.
consistently, no, it's not sexy.
No.
Um, your morning routine is not sexy. That's funny. So, um, I think the key to a successful morning routine is doing it consistently, right? You don't know anything
Yeah.
until it works and repeating it over and over and over again. And maybe even having that morning routine be somewhat that you can take on a vacation. Probably you're not going to take it on a girls trip, but you can sort of take
Mhm,
it with you, right? And then you can, if you have a good morning routine,
mhm.
I do think it starts the day off like awesome. Like you are going to set yourself up for like an incredible day.
Yeah, I feel better. I don't have that like burning sensation in my chest because things are too chaotic. I think
Yeah.
I think that for me, like getting a routine and where it's like almost just rote, I don't even think about it. My body's just doing it. And I think my kids kind of know what to expect. I have timers set up in the house for them while they eat. They are just, time management is not anybody's strength but mine. I know my
Yeah.
husband would argue, but really, like, I take into account like every single minute of the morning, from like the time that they eat, how many minutes they need to brush their teeth, and so on and so forth, what time we actually need to leave the house. So I think I'm pretty good at time management. Whatever,
You're good.
Jerry.
No,
Yeah,
your kids. Your kids are not good.
correct. Yes. So I have to be a little militant, but in order for me to stay on top of it, I need to have myself ready. Which I don't even know if I'm answering your question right now, Alex. I feel like I went on a tangent.
No,
Did
I
I?
think
I don't know. Yeah.
it's helpful because you know what? I think
Yeah.
we want our ladies. This episode is meant to for you to think about your morning routine, right?
Mhm.
If you haven't thought about it or you are meaning to think about it, so we're going to talk about some things that we think will help your morning routine, right? And I think the way that it starts is with the sleep, right? We talked about sleep last week,
Mhm.
and I read a statistic since last week that I think is interesting. Is only 35% of adults, doesn't matter male or female, get 35% of adults get 7 hours or less of sleep, right? And we talked about
Yeah.
you need sleep. I need sleep. We need sleep as we get older. So
Yes.
making sure that you are prioritizing your sleep, I think sets you up for a good morning routine. We want to be in that 65% of the people that get 7 or more hours, right?
Yes. Oh, how I would love like 10 hours of sleep, but
10 hours. I think I would be overtired.
right. No, I think like 8 or 9 is like the sweet spot for
I think eight
sure.
is good. Now, a question is, are you a
Yeah.
snoozer? Like, do you set an alarm? Are you a snoozer? What do we think about that?
I wish I wasn't a snoozer because I see my husband like sometimes he gets up before the alarm even goes off, but he is not a snoozer. He hears it and he just gets up. And
Yeah.
that's probably why he can do what he does.
Yeah.
But I am a snoozer. I snooze at least twice.
So do you add that into your time frame? You know you're going to press snooze twice, so do you add that, or are you already
No,
feeling like off by your routine? Oh, okay, okay.
no.
Maybe you should do that.
Yeah. Maybe I should, but then my alarm would go off at like 5. Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
I don't know how you wake up
So I
so
set
early.
yeah. Well, I don't really have a choice. If I
Yeah.
if I set the alarm at 5:30 and got up, I would have a good half hour. But I know if I hit the snooze twice, that's 16 minutes, and that gives me like 15 minutes, which is more than enough.
But at least you know that, right? Like you're planning in that.
Yes.
I
How
am.
about
I'm
you?
not I'm not a snoozer, but I'm not
Mhm.
like I wake up pretty rearing to go, right? But now with that
Mhm.
new Hatch thing that I have, the Hatch light that we talked about
Yeah.
last week, I wake up at 6:30, and it starts the sunrise at 6. So I have a very gradual wake up. I don't need to get out of my bed till 6:30.
Oh, okay. So it's like a little bit of light
Uh
coming
huh.
in,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
and then your alarm goes off at 6:30.
Yes, and which is funny because I was like, I don't think this thing is working. And then
Mhm.
this morning, I realized that it went a half an hour before, and I was like ready at 6:30, and I was like, why am I ready?
Oh,
And I realized
that's it.
it's
I'm ordering it.
I think you need it. I think you need it
Yeah.
because I think, and so yeah, so I don't hit the snooze a lot, but this thing does have the Hatch does have a snooze button.
Yeah. I think if I had to wake up at 6:30, I don't think I would hit the snooze, but 5:30
Hmm.
is early.
Yeah, that's way too
5:30
early.
is early. Yes.
That's early. So, are you a bed maker in the morning? Do you make your bed? Because I only ask that
Mhm.
because one of my best friends does not make her bed. She knows who she is because we have
Mhm.
discussions about this. And I like can't believe it. I'm like, whoa, you do not, her husband doesn't make the bed. She doesn't make the bed. They like put up, like, at least put the comforter up. I'm like, you sound like my 14-year-old son that is like, why do I have to make the bed if I'm just going to sleep it in it again? Now, are you a
Oh,
bed
she
maker?
doesn't make her bed at all?
No.
Oh. Yes, I make my bed. I want it to look Nice. I don't do it for the reason of like wake up and make your bed and it's the first thing that you do so you can feel accomplished and it sets the tone for the day. Like I think there's someone in, I can't think of his name, but he's in the military and he like make your bed. Like it's the title of his book. Um but I do make my bed. It's not typically like the minute I wake up, but I do definitely make my bed.
And then because you have this alone time, do you then
Mhm.
wake up, brush your teeth, take a shower, get ready? Like, are you one of those people that wake up and get dressed, or are you in your jammies while you're making breakfast for the kids and stuff?
No, I'd like to be dressed. Like some mornings I'm like, oh, I'll just wait. But usually like if I don't get dressed, then if I leave the kitchen area while they're all in there, they're all fighting. So uh it's
So
just
you're getting dressed.
yes.
You're
So I'm
dressed.
getting dressed. Yes. I'm not showering um because I like to work out in the morning, so I'll shower after. But yes, I like to get dressed before I wake them up. And that also makes me feel like, okay, well, it's my day has really started. You need to get going too.
Okay, so you're like my husband. My husband
Mhm,
does that. Even like on the weekends, sometimes I'm like, can't we just hang in our jammies? And he's like getting up. I think, and I one time
mhm.
I was like asking him, and he's like, I just feel more awake with having a shower. So I totally respect that. I don't
Yes.
even brush my teeth or do anything. I like go
Mhm,
straight downstairs in my jammies, and I just got this awesome like day robe, I like to call it. So I'm in down
mhm.
there with my jammies and robe and drinking coffees.
Well, I think I have a solution to your issue that how you're meandering in the morning. I think I know what you need to do in that half an
Maybe I
hour.
need to put on clothes and go work out.
Yes. Yeah. So,
Okay,
okay.
so then we're downstairs. Let's talk about like coffee and water. You see this like all over social media. We
Uh-huh.
need to drink water. We've talked a little bit about water, but
Yeah.
I started trying to drink at least 8 ounces of water before I drink my cup of coffee in the morning.
Mhm.
And I think that sets a good tone for myself of making sure I know that I've got 8 ounces of water in me before my day even starts.
Yeah,
Do you do the same
that
thing?
might be the only water I get all day, even though I lug around a Stanley Cup all day long. But yes, I actually have to delay my coffee because of my thyroid medication. So what I do
Yeah.
is take my medicine first thing in the morning, and I usually try to drink 8 ounces, and then recommend not eating or drinking anything for half an hour. So at least that that's kind of like I almost like have to do it. So, but I do notice
Yeah.
a different. I definitely feel more like alert, a little less groggy, and
I've recently started delaying my coffee too, and
Mhm,
I feel the same way. I think it's like 45 minutes to delay your
mhm,
coffee so that your brain can actually wake up with the water. And I
mhm,
do part of my nighttime routine is I do set out my vitamins or supplements the night before.
mhm,
So I'm a very like visual person. So I
mhm.
put my water
Same.
downstairs by the coffee maker and then I have my vitamins out in a little dish so that if I don't see it, I don't do it. So
Mhm.
it's not going
Right.
to happen.
I know.
Uh,
I'm the same.
so I think having the cup of coffee, if you're not doing that and you have challenging to drink a lot of water, that's a good way of doing that. Put your water bottle right by your coffee maker,
Mhm.
and have a visual reminder for that. I think that's a good
Okay.
idea. Lay out your
S-
vitamins, do all that.
Yeah. So, question for you on a personal note: how you have your two different Stanleys? Do you fill them
Yes.
up and then you just have one like maybe by your purse and keys? Like you have to take it with you? Is
I
that
keep it
like
in the
your
car
visual cue?
actually.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I keep it in the car actually because I'm also okay. I mean, a Stanley keeps it cold, but I'm
Yeah.
also okay with room temperature water.
Mhm.
So I leave my Stanley out in the kitchen after when it's time for bed and it's just sitting
Yeah.
there. So I don't keep it. I know some people keep it in the fridge or that type of thing, but I'll
Yeah.
forget about it. So I need it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same way too.
Maybe
I hate clutter, but it's like if I don't see it, I'm not going to do it. So it's kind of like
yeah.
a double-edged sword for me.
Yeah.
So,
Now, something that I heard that is really good about the morning, and it's a little bit hard in Boston, and I've been reading about this, is getting the sunlight in the morning, right?
oh, we have no problem with that, but yes.
So do
Colorado.
you
Yeah.
do that in the morning? Do you wake up and like walk outside or take a walk or?
Well, I have like the house of windows, so I
Yeah.
just open my shades.
Uh-huh.
But the sunlight is so blinding here that I don't have to go outside. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I do notice a difference for sure because I'm from Michigan and it's like the grayest state in the entire US, I feel
Yeah.
like. So, yes. It's definitely and if I didn't live here, I think I would try to find a way to get some sunlight in. So, is that
And do
what you
you do
struggle
that?
with?
Well,
Oh,
I do a little bit because it is like
mhm.
Boston is sort of dark. So
Yeah.
one of my friends from college texted me and she showed me this like sunlight light
Uh-huh.
light. Do you know one of those that it's like it imitates sunlight? It looks like
Yeah.
sunlight when you look at it. So of course I did order
Oh,
it.
okay. Of
So
course.
of course I did. And I'm just like I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm gonna think about where to put it because the other day I walked outside in
Mhm.
January to try to get some sunlight and it was freezing out. So I'm like, what? I
Yeah,
don't
like you
understand
can't
the point
breathe.
of
Yeah.
this.
So what does this sunlight thing do for all our ladies in the
It
Northeast?
says again, it just wakes up your body, right? It's like exposing your body to some vitamin D, which is always good.
Is it a lamp? Is it
It's a lamp.
fixed
It
like
looks
oh, okay.
it's like a little lamp and it has like a
Okay.
flat screen. I can link it in
Okay.
the show notes for sure. So we'll
Yeah.
see. When it is nice out in Boston, I do like to walk John to the bus stop and then take a
Mhm.
walk. But I am a fair weather walker and I will not go
See.
out in the cold.
I know. I really like got strict with the boys and walking the dog. So she like I come home and she like stares at me because I usually take her. I'm like, sorry,
Yeah.
girl. It's only 12 degrees out. You're gonna have to wait till the boys come home.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah.
So Alex is part of his morning routine
Hmm.
is he wakes up a half an hour earlier because he
Hmm.
takes the dogs for a walk in the morning. And I'm sort of jealous because he's getting that outdoor time and setting up
Ah,
his day for success, you know, but it also helps
yeah.
me out because he walks the dogs.
Yeah. That's so nice. That's so nice. Yeah. I mean, Jerry would have to get up at like 3:30 in the morning. So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna
No.
no
No.
expectations there.
No.
Um oh, go
What do
ahead.
you do about your phone in the morning? Because this is a big thing that I keep on reading about is not waking up and grabbing your phone or looking at social media, your emails or your texts or whatever it is. What do you do?
Yeah.
This is
Uh,
something I'm trying not to do, but it's really hard
mhm.
to not do it, right? So what do you do?
Yeah. I don't look at my phone. I mean, I'll look at the notifications and if it's like if like a certain friend or family member reached out to me, then I will look at that, but I don't look at email. I don't look at social media. I don't do anything until I've come home because I have to drive my kids to school. Um,
Uh-huh.
so I wait. I wait. There's
Okay.
nothing pressing going on, and I
Right.
find that it like I'll go down the rabbit hole of it. I mean, I do it on the weekends, but like my Monday through Friday routines are pretty strict actually.
Right.
So I
Unless
don't.
it's an important text from me talking about
From
something we need
you,
to do.
yes.
Yeah, no, I think that's one of the things in being honest today
Hmm.
of I think that's something I need to change because I think, I've talked about I want a better morning routine. I
Hmm.
think I need to just sort of let my phone. I keep it in the bathroom so it's not in my bedroom, but I think I need to just, sort of keep it there until I'm like ready to really start my day.
Yeah, I think so. Try it. You might have to
I
put a
will.
sticky note on your phone.
Do
Don't
not touch
don't open me. Don't open me until you work out or
until
8:30 or
I work
whatever
it
it
out.
is. Yeah.
Okay. You've helped me. I'm gonna get John on the bus. I'm gonna go work out, wake up Walker, and not touch my phone. That'll be very difficult for me, but I do think that'll be it's making, these small little changes to your
Hmm.
routines that maybe
Yeah.
I'll just try that and see how it is.
I think you need to get dressed before you come down. I think that's where just start small, Alex. Just get dressed first
Get
and
dressed.
then go
Okay.
down and check on your little man. Um, and then,
Okay.
bundle up and walk him to the bus. And that'll be your
No.
like, that'll be,
That's like a
I
big
know it's
change.
February. Yeah. Or at least watch him from the door and like wave
I do.
goodbye.
I do. I have a whole
Uh-huh.
conversation. John wakes up very chatty Cathy, just like me. So we talk about a lot of things. Like some kids talk at night. He's like a
Yeah.
morning talker. So it works out
Uh,
well. But I promise that I will get dressed tomorrow morning and I will see how that feels and report back.
I want a text. Actually, I want a selfie of you dressed, and I'm going to note the time.
Okay. When I get dressed, when I get
Okay.
dressed. I think you're right though. That will help me because one of the other things I want to talk about was making sure you're getting some sort of activity or exercise or
Mm-hmm.
whatever works for you in your day. And I think that's a great advice, Nicole, is if you do want to be someone that works out in the morning, get dressed. Because
Yeah.
guess what? I'm in workout clothes now and I have not worked out. And it is 4 o'clock in the afternoons. So that's
But
not
maybe
good.
that intention is there. Like you have the intention
Yes,
to do it, but
I
it
do.
didn't happen. It just didn't happen
Yes,
today. But
it
you're
didn't happen.
definitely
So
better at it than I am.
but schedule, I do get it in, but
Mhm.
schedule, but having that scheduled time to get some exercise, whether you're a morning
Yeah.
exerciser or a nighttime exerciser. And also I think what's helpful is um when I'm coaching some of my clients, like you don't have to work out every day, but
Hmm.
for the days that you are able to work out, like do it and own it and do that
Hmm.
workout. Put your phone away. That is one thing I do when I work out is put your
Hmm.
phone away and like do that 30 minutes of exercise. You owe that to yourself. And I think you'll feel so much better, especially in midlife. We need to be moving our body so that we
Oh
can be
yes, we
stronger
do.
going forward for sure. So you got to make that a priority, ladies. You have to do some strength training. Add that into your schedule, even one time a week. Start small. Start small. Just you'll feel better if you do that.
Yes, my friend that lives in the neighborhood, she and I joined a gym, and
Oh.
it's like one of those $10 a month things,
Uh,
and we meet once a week, and we just have an accountability to each other, and we just do it, and we knock it out. And I don't think I would have joined it without her.
yeah.
Um, there's no bells and whistles. It's just, hey, meet me here after you drop your kids off at school, and we get it done, and we get to catch up, and it's nice. I definitely needed it. So,
Yeah, I love working out with friends. I think that's a
hmm
big thing actually that happened in midlife where it was
hmm
like we used to like go to drinks at night and now
hmm
it's like, "Hey, let's work out." I was just texting with a friend, "Hey, let's go for a walk." I played tennis with a friend this week. It's a
yeah,
twofer in my mind because we're
yes,
exercising
yeah,
and I get to have some social time. So, find a friend to work out or put it in your calendar for sure. I think that's good.
yes, yes. Maybe join a class. I used to be big on like dropping the kids off and then going to a class because it was like a scheduled time. I'm much better at that. But after COVID, it kind of got a little,
Yeah.
I got away
Everyone,
from it. I did think, yeah, just
yeah,
find what works for you. Seriously.
we're back.
Yeah.
You're back. You're back.
Yeah.
I like that, Jim. What about I wrap all of this stuff into one and it's journaling, gratitude, meditation, affirmations. I know people
Hmm.
that do sort of all of those type of things or your
Hmm.
to-do list. I think those sort of
Yeah.
all are together in one
Hmm.
that I think one of those should be done in the morning for sure.
What do you do?
Oh, well, don't
Or do
ask
you
me
do,
that. Um,
as you're meandering, are you just like, mm,
just
I'm just
pondering,
kidding.
pondering things.
I just can't imagine you meandering in the morning. I just can't.
I
Like,
don't.
I'm
I mean, I'm
floored.
joking. I'm joking with you. I'm not meandering. I am like I'm doing a lot of things. I do set out little projects for myself for the morning,
Hmm.
right? Like that's when I'll write a lot of my thank you notes, a lot of cards. I'll do a
Okay.
lot of things like that in the morning. I do love, and we mentioned this last
Hmm.
week. I do like Mel Robbins' high five journal, so I will do that in the
Yes.
morning.
Hmm.
I've tried other journals like we've talked about before, and it's just it's a little too much for me. So
Yeah.
I when I would drive my kids to school last year, I would do a meditation in the car. I mean, I wouldn't close my eyes,
Yeah.
obviously,
Uh-huh.
but I would listen to a meditation, and I really, really loved that. It was only a 5-minute meditation,
Hmm.
um, and I had a little timer in my phone for that. So I do really enjoy that. I will look at my to-do list again because I write it down, even though I've gone digital with my calendar. Um, I think you know what?
Ooh.
I'm still on a journey with this part.
Yeah.
I think I've learned today already. You've taught me get dressed, work out. And that's what I'm going to do with my time. And then um I think journaling in that little high five journal, I think is good too.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a to-do list person. Like
Okay.
I am digital now too. I know.
Yay.
It took a
We should do a whole
while.
podcast about that. We have to do a whole
Yes.
podcast about digital. We're so proud
My
of ourselves.
I know. My friend Shannon was like, "I don't know if I'm behind the times, but why don't you try the Apple Calendar?" I'm like, "No, you are not behind the times. I am behind the times." Um, but not anymore. Yeah, so I do have everything digital, but I do just like to make a few notes just so I just remember them. And typically, like it's like dinner and like whatever little last minute errands I need to run or something like that. So, but yeah, usually I like to set my day up the night before with I do the high five journal the evening before, and I tend to look at like time blocking. Um, and then my to-do list. Like these are the things that I absolutely have to get done.
Yeah, I do that
So
too.
it's
And I
my
think I just put a timer in my phone for 7:30 in the morning,
uh-huh.
and that's sort of when I review my like meal plan for the day, for
Hmm.
my personal meal plan and for my kids, and make sure I have all the ingredients and for dinner. And I
Same.
sort of
Yep.
I do that too because I don't want it to be, I am a huge fan of meal planning and prepping. I don't want it to be 5 o'clock and wonder what we're doing for dinner. So I will review my schedule. I will make sure that I have all the food that I need. So
Hmm.
I think that's definitely important to go over your to-do list. I think what's also been a game changer for me is the top three for my to-do list. Like the
Hmm.
three things that you absolutely have to get done in that day.
Hmm.
Like just three. Because I used to
Yeah.
think I can do 20 things in a day, but really I can't because I don't have enough
Right.
hours in the day.
Right.
So
I think that
I
came from
think,
having like little kids. And if you would get
yeah,
a sitter, you would have like a 2 to 3 hour window and you'd be like, how much can
yeah.
I get done? How much can I get done? Now it's like, okay, I have a little bit more space and time and I'm not going to kill myself trying to do all the things just because I have a sitter. So,
Right. And it's
yeah.
you look at your top three in terms of like if your work, your
Hmm.
family, your personal. It's not just
Hmm.
like it's the things that you really just you have to get done that day that aren't sort of needle moving in any of those aspects of your life. That has been a huge game changer for me. And then at the end of the day, I
Hmm.
feel I give myself a high five. I'm like very proud of myself. So
Thank you, Mel Robbins.
yes, yes.
Have you ever done that, by
Uh,
the way? The high five in the
what?
mirror? She's got like a
No.
whole thing up. Okay.
What? Like
I,
literally give myself a high five?
yeah, she wrote a whole book on it. Yeah.
No. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
It, it,
have you
it
read
does
it?
something. No. Did I read it? Oh, I think I listened to it on Audible, like
Okay.
while I was walking my dogs. There's like a whole science behind it and how like if you high five somebody, you transfer energy and you're like cheering for somebody and it's just like if you do it in a mirror and you look at yourself, it's like you're transferring energy. I don't know. I feel very strange doing it. I have I have tried it, but I can't. It's it's just I just can't do it.
You know what? You just gave me another idea. This is so helpful.
Yeah.
I am going to high five my kids in the morning
Yes.
because I'll always say to them, have a great day, like be the best you, type
Hmm.
of thing. But I
Hmm.
think doing a high five would be
Yeah.
really, really fun. And I think even if I have middle schoolers that are a little more grumpy in the morning, they could still
Yeah.
do that with me.
Yeah.
It doesn't involve
Yeah. I think
talking.
so. Yeah. I definitely do it with Eris, my youngest.
Yeah.
I'll give him a high five and be like, "You got this. You're gonna be like, you're gonna be a good
The
boy
best you.
today. The
You're
best
going to
you.
be a good boy.
Yeah. You are not gonna swear at your teacher today." No, he
That's a
hasn't done
win.
that yet. Yes, no. But yeah. So I used to do it to them a little bit more often, but maybe I should do it now that they're older.
Yeah. No, I think that I like the
Hmm.
transfer of energy. I like that like
Yeah.
positive sort of like start your day good. Well, this was so
Okay.
much fun to talk about, and I think
Yes.
we need like a part 2 of morning routines once I change mine.
Yeah. I want to know what you ladies are doing for your morning
Yeah.
routine. Like, are you scrambling? Or are you are you meandering like Alex? Or are you a drill sergeant like me? Like the dishwasher and the laundry's going and I got timers set out and like go, go, go. I don't know if I'm actually teaching them, but we're getting out the door on time.
That's good. It's like, are you a planner or a doer, right? That's one of the things. I think
Oh,
I'm a
yes.
planner and you're a doer. I want to be a
Mhm.
doer. So that's, I
And I want
aspire
to be
to
a
be a doer.
planner. We need to, I do. I learn a
Swap
lot from you.
roles.
So,
Wife
yes.
swap.
Okay. There you go.
Wife swap.
Exactly.
Okay, so we learned so much today on this episode. Tell me what your, it's hard to narrow it down to one, but what would be your unsolicited advice?
Wake up and give yourself a half an hour early. No, wait. Scratch that. Let's just rewind because it didn't come out of my mouth, right? Wake up. Okay. To set yourself up for success, wake up at least a half an hour before anybody else so you can slowly get to what you need to and then hit the ground running. But maybe don't rush yourself, but rush everybody else.
Yes, yes, I love
Yeah.
that. So that you have some time for yourself to wake up in the way that you want to wake up and you're not like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, what do I do? I think my advice, because I've learned so much from talking to you today, would be if you want to improve your morning routine, start slow, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's always sort of my philosophy is for me, I'm going to get dressed in the morning. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to work on that. Then I'm going to work on the workout while
Mm-hmm.
Walker is still sleeping. So I'm going to go slow, but I think looking at your morning routine, I think all of us could improve it, right? You can always
Yes.
change it, adapt it. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great time in this new year, even though we're 1 month in now, to evaluate your morning routine. And are you using your time efficiently? Because I know for me, as I said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, so looking at that and reevaluating and starting slow with me.
Yes, I love that, Alex. All right. Well,
Yeah,
we'll keep
yeah.
you updated on all of our morning changes, and we want to hear what you're doing too for your morning change. So tag us on Instagram, leave us a comment in reviews, or you can actually email us at don'tcallmemidlife@gmail.com.
Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, later, Gator.
Bye.